Hi, my name is Sandrian Nelson Moon. I'm 38 years old. I am from New York City. I live in Queens, New York. I am a survivor. I'm an overcomer. I am at peace. This is my story. I grew up in a third world country in the Caribbean. And I spent majority of that life on a farm. Humble beginnings. I had a lot of fun there. But that house also brought me a lot of pain. Around 8 or 9 years old, I started getting molested. I didn't understand then what was happening. But I remember keeping this little book, and I would hide it in this hole somewhere, in a hole in the wall, in the ceiling. And that is where I would put my feelings. You know, you grow up in a culture where these things are happening and no one wants to discuss them. It doesn't help your psyche. It doesn't help you, the victim. I couldn't speak about these things to anyone. And I never did. I bottled those up and I kept going. As I got older, the molestation stopped somewhat. But then at 16, I was abducted and raped. Coming home, and I remember the humiliation I felt that night. I got on a bus with my clothes torn up, ripped, and I walked home in tears I was in such shock. It was one of the hardest things for me. You know, when I got home, and I think the hardest thing that I realized was I don't think I felt the compassion that I was supposed to feel, because I don't think people understood even how to deal with what was going on with me. And that night I attempted suicide. After that, I was told to keep it quiet. Try to go on with your life. But that thing, after going through molestation for years, and then that happened, and it broke every ounce of me. For years, I didn't understand the things I was feeling, why I felt the things I felt. But I knew it didn't make sense. Most of it didn't make sense. I would come home. It took me years to get into a relationship. It took me years to understand and deal with things. And I would come home scrubbing myself in the shower as if I was scrubbing something off me. Even then, I realized my psyche was messed up. I was confused. I was still living in that pain. And I started, trying to find ways to help and cope. And I would read and counseling, all of this in silence, because I still could not speak about what I was feeling. But even in those years, I had other men around the family, close to the family, in the family, would make passes at me. For years, I felt like I couldn't go anywhere without a man coming out of pocket and being just inappropriate with me. And I felt such like a target. My aim today, after going through what I did and getting to a place where I'm at such peace, and my hope is to encourage women who face these things. You know, I lived around and I had to face my the people I accuse, more or less, the perpetrators. I saw them all the time. I couldn't speak about it. I had to find a way to deal with that. And that was very hard. Forgiving everybody was hard. But somehow, by the grace of God, I was able to find a center, find myself, and come out of it. Today, I am a mom. I am happily married. I am an entrepreneur. And my aim is to help other women understand, you know, it's a journey through the process. However, we can get over it. Thank you for listening.